Item 170. Irrigation system. 1. Description. Furnish and install an irrigation system as shown on the plans. 2. Materials. Unless otherwise shown on the plans, use materials that meet the following. 2.1 Irrigation pipe. Use polyvinyl chloride, PVC, pipe meeting ASTM D2241, SDR 13.5, SDR 17, SDR 21, or ASTM D1785, Schedule 40. 2.2 Fittings. Furnish fittings as shown on the plans. PVC fittings must meet ASTM D2466. 2.3 Encasement pipe. Use PVC pipe meeting ASTM D1785, Schedule 40, with an inside diameter at least 1 inches larger than the outside diameter of the irrigation pipe, unless otherwise shown on the plans. 2.4 Low voltage wire. Use minimum 14 gauge UL approved wire for direct burial. 2.5 Bentonite slurry. Use a viscous mixture of commercial bentonite and fresh water containing 2% to 8% bentonite by weight. 2.6 Accessories. Use valves, sprinkler heads, and controllers that meet the requirements shown on the plans. Use backflow preventers that meet the requirements of the controlling water utility authority. 2.7 Electrical service. Use materials meeting the requirements of Section 170.3.1, Electrical service, for installations requiring over 100 V. 3. Construction. Perform irrigation system work under the supervision of a person possessing an irrigator's license issued by the TCEQ. Provide documentation of this license. Follow the codes of the controlling utility authority for water and electrical connection and service. Coordinate irrigation system installation with plant installation, when plant installation is specified, to ensure that watering requirements are met. Prevent damage to vegetation, slopes, utilities, structures, and other amenities. Repair any damage within the right-of-way caused by the contractor. Perform the following activities as required. 3.1 Electrical service. Construct installations requiring over 100 V in accordance with the details shown on the plans and the pertinent requirements of the following. Item 618, Conduit. Item 620, Electrical conductors. Item 622, Duct cable. Item 624, Ground boxes, and Item 628, Electrical services. 3.2 Excavation and trenching. Excavate and trench to a sufficient depth to provide for a minimum of 12 inches soil cover for all lines or as shown on the plans. Use common trenches for irrigation lines and wire runs where feasible. Protect trenches and boring pits less than 5 feet deep using approved methods. Protect trenches and boring pits 5 feet deep or deeper in accordance with Item 402, Trench excavation protection, and Item 403, Temporary special shoring. 3.3 Boring. Bore at the locations shown on the plans or as directed. Avoid weakening or damaging roadways or other facilities. Bore the lengths in one direction only. Maintain horizontal and vertical alignment to an accuracy of 1 inches in 10 feet. Use water or other approved fluids in connection with boring operations only to lubricate cuttings. Bentonite slurry may be used in unconsolidated soil formations to consolidate cuttings for the bit, seal the walls of the hole, and furnish lubrication for subsequent removal of cuttings and installation of the pipe immediately thereafter. 3.4 Water jetting. Use water jetting only when shown on the plans or approved in writing. Water jet the lengths in one direction only. Cease operations and complete all necessary work by boring when jetting operations fail to produce a smooth stable hole. 3.5 Encasement. Provide a minimum of 12 inches of cover over encasement pipe. Cover is measured to the top of the subgrade for paved areas and to the bottom of the slab for sidewalks or non-load bearing slabs. 3.6 Pipe and valve assembly. Assemble pipe and fittings as recommended by the manufacturers. Clean pipe and fittings of dust, dirt, and moisture before assembly. Make connections between plastic pipe and metal valves with threaded fittings and plastic adapters. Install backflow preventers as required by ordinances of the Controlling Water Utility Authority. Install pipe, valves, and valve boxes a minimum of 12 inches from sidewalks, buildings, walls, and other objects, or as directed. 3.7 Sprinkler heads and drip tubing. Install sprinkler heads and drip tubing in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations at locations shown on the plans or as directed. 3.8 Controller. Install controllers in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations at locations shown on the plans or as directed. 3.9 Low voltage wire. Install wire in trenches below the pipe or in a minimum 1 inches PVC pipe with at least 12 inches of cover over its entire run. Install wire in continuous lengths. Splice wire, if required, in valve boxes using waterproof materials. 3.10 Closing and flushing of PVC pipe. Cap or plug pipe after installation to prevent entry of foreign materials that would obstruct the flow of water. Leave caps or plugs in place until removal is necessary for completion of the installation. Thoroughly flush all water lines. 3.11 Hydrostatic tests. Notify the engineer in writing at least 48 HR before testing. Center load all pipe with enough backfill to prevent arching or slipping while under pressure. After all welded joints have cured for at least 24 HR, test the main lines from the meter to the valves, with all valves closed, for at least 2 consecutive hours by applying a continuous and static minimum 80 psi water pressure. Repair leaks if necessary and retest. Maintain the lines under static pressure for 24 HR without leaks before final approval. 3.12 Backfill and compaction. Backfill trenches and other excavations with soil free of objectionable material after the irrigation system is fully operational. All tests and inspections have been performed, and the results are approved. Backfill and compact in 8 inches layers. Smooth and shape disturbed soil to final grade or as directed. 4 Measurement. This item will be measured by the lump sum or by each complete system. 5 Payment. For lump sum measurement, the work performed and the materials furnished in accordance with this item and measured as provided under measurement will be paid for at the unit price bid for irrigation system. For each measurement, the work performed and the materials furnished in accordance with this item and measured as provided under measurement will be paid for at the unit price bid for irrigation system of the design specified. This price is full compensation for furnishing and installing all components, flushing and testing water lines, furnishing and operating equipment, and labor, tools, and incidentals. Protection methods for excavations 5 feet deep or deeper will be measured and paid for as required under Item 402, Trench Excavation Protection, or Item 403, Temporary Special Shoring. Electrical work required in accordance with Section 170.3.1, Electrical Service, will be measured and paid for under Item 628, Electrical Services. Power and water consumed will be paid for by the department unless otherwise shown on the plans. Backflow preventer, system inspection, and maintenance fees will be paid by the department unless otherwise shown on the plans.